Hi, good afternoon. Tom Stewart here. I'm with Liz Trotter. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Tom. Hey, y'all.
And guess what day it is? It's Friday. Not only is it Friday, it's Friday of a 3-day weekend.
Woohoo! Yay! Which is a good time to say that we're not going to be here on Monday. 3-day weekend for us, too. Right, Tom? Did we decide we're
Yep.
not going to be here on Monday?
Yeah, we did.
It's
So
like, uh-oh, it's not good if
we'll see
we
you
change
Tuesday,
it.
guys. Be safe. And we're not done yet. Okay.
Do that at the end.
Very
I
good.
haven't pulled this up on my phone yet. Let's see. So we have a special guest coming on a little bit later, maybe, right? Hey, Paula. If she can get on, we're hoping. Tom, what you looking at over there?
I'm looking at something I'm going to share here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is cool. We haven't talked about jobless claims in a while, have we?
Nope.
I don't think we have.
Haven't.
This jobless claims come out every Thursday, as we know. And this kind of goes back to like 314, where like initial jobless claims were at like 300,000, because this is like in millions here, which is a pretty big number actually. But if then you remember, it like got 10 times bigger at 3.3 and then 6.9 and then 6.6. And this orange bar here is kind of the cumulative initial jobless claims. And here we are on the 9th, which still is like a couple of weeks ago. And it's all the way up to 36. The number yesterday, I think, was still around 2.5. I mean, this is it's like 2.7, 2.4, and yesterday was like 2 point something. Still, all of those are like 10 times larger than what they were like in the middle of March. I know that hiring people right now is really kind of tough because of all the unemployment money that's floating around, sloshing around out there. But we've got to be heading towards the time when there's going to be more supply of labor than it is demand. It's inevitable.
Yeah, no way around that.
So I guess the point is, it's really, it might be tough at the moment, or if it is tough at the moment, hang in there. I think the $600 goes, federal kicker goes away middle of July.
Yeah, but don't forget they're talking about extending it now.
Yeah.
So, but they haven't extended it yet.
Would they extend it with another just $600 on top, or maybe since they've had a little time to think about it, they've sobered up and would do something more economically rational? Any chance?
Yeah, I was one of the people that said there's no way they're going to put the $600 on top. No. Of course, it's going to be a gap filler. So you don't want to listen to me, because look how wrong I was. The information coming out is they're just going to extend it in the same exact way that they've been distributing it to date. So,
well, one of the explanations that we heard about that was that the computer systems at the state level who actually administer all of this wouldn't really have the ability to do the math to figure out how to add something on. So they wouldn't have been able to implement. So that's why they said, well, the heck with it, just throw it in on top, because that's the only way we can implement something. But they've had some time to think about this now. So you would think that, no, silly me. You would hope that somebody would have been, working on a more rational way to do a round two, but.
Well, and I think the other piece was not just that they, the computers couldn't do it and figure it out, but the speed at which they needed to implement this. It was just $600 to everybody, then we can get it done. Otherwise, how long is it going to take to roll it out there, right? But now, like you said, it's been out a while, so fingers crossed. But again, I'm not horribly hopeful just because I was so wrong last time. I was so sure. There's no way. How is that going to help? How is them putting that $600 going to get people back to work? Isn't that going to encourage them not to work? So, but that was before we knew about the PPP monies and all that stuff too. So let's see, what does Robin say? Thinking about posting ads, they say unemployment won't last forever and hope that good employees may realize that everyone is going to look for jobs soon and they should get a head start looking.
That is really good.
Yeah, I love that. You better start now because pretty soon everybody's going to be out there. And what percentage of the population is going to be out looking for a job? Some of them might be more qualified than you. So start today.
You know what I love about that is the people that are the most motivated and probably most desirable would be the ones that would be more persuaded by an argument like that. I mean, that's great.
Yeah. We're taking notes over here, Robin.
I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture of that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Guess what's going in everybody's ad? Guess what you're going to see on Indeed on Monday, right? Yeah, that's really good. Karen, yeah, you're right. If you aren't eligible for regular unemployment, you don't get the $600. Yeah, that's very, very true. But as we can see by those numbers, a lot of people are eligible. A lot of people are eligible. So hopefully that's not just going to be the only story. We have said, I know quite a few people that are having some decent luck advertising. I've had luck. I know, trying to think where I've seen this information, if it's shareable or not. Yeah, actually, no. I know of quite a few companies, though, across the country that are having good luck sharing. At least one company in Texas, at least one company in Oklahoma, at least one company in Florida. So there are places that are having good luck advertising. I really think that Robin's strategy is going to make us all a little bit more successful, though. Let's see. Shannon got the $600 under self-unemployment. Okay, cool. Matt got his $600, right, for quite a few weeks. Yeah, he figured that out, and so I'm thinking anybody that was able to figure out how to do that and use it, yay, more power to you if you were able to make that work as well. Anybody else have any other money stuff going on? Anybody get PPP monies or idle monies since yesterday? Is that me feedback? I'm hearing feedback. That coming from me?
I'm barely hearing talking.
Okay. Well, I can turn down my volume. It might just be me. Is anybody else getting the feedback? I want to get rid of it if you guys are hearing it too. If it's just me, I'll ignore it. Kind of sounds like, reminds me of Charlie Brown, though. Yeah. All right. So it looks like everybody's kind of mellowing out here on the amount of monies they get. Is what I mean is if your earnings are too high, you won't get any UI, including 600. Oh yeah, that's true. You're making over 100,000 a year, right? You're not getting any monies. Robin hears the feedback. Sarah hears it too.
Let me mute myself and see if it goes away.
Okay. Let's hear talking. Yep, it goes away. It's you. Could it be Kate, Tom? Because you guys are in the same house? No?
Well, she's not even logged in. But I turn it back on, does the feedback come back?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try something else. You guys keep going.
All right. Beatrice, self-employed here, got my PPP loan and it's put aside. Now got an idle eligibility for a huge amount of money. I'm confused. I don't need the idle or want it, but what about the $1,000 grant? Should I just say I want a $1,000 loan then? All right, so my understanding about, and I might have this wrong, we'll let Tom, after he figures out his problem, we'll let him chime in as well, because he's the expert, not me. But my understanding is that the $1,000 grant is not actually a grant. They changed the name on purpose. It is an advance on the loan, and that advance turns into a grant. So I'm not sure that you can just take the $1,000 without accepting the entire loan, but why couldn't you take the loan and then just return all the monies if you wanted to and keep the $1,000? What's your take on that, Tom? Oh, you're muted again.
Yeah.
So Beatrice is saying that she got her PPP and she put it aside. She also got approval for an EIDL loan. She doesn't want it. It's too much money. But what about the $1,000 advance? Can she just take the advance and not take the loan? I told her I didn't think so. I thought that the advance was the advance on the loan. It's part of it, but that there would be no reason why she couldn't take the loan and then just return all of the money, because the $1,000 turns into a grant. Does that sound right to you, Tom?
It sounds logical.
So who knows?
Yeah. But the point is, you could go ahead and take the PPP loan, and at the end of it, you don't spend a nickel of it, you can turn it back, and hopefully you'd be able to keep the $1,000 that was supposed to be the advance that you weren't supposed to have to pay back to begin with.
So Tom, you said PPP. Did you mean EIDL? Because she's talking about the EIDL right now, because the $1,000 is the advance on the EIDL,
which is like, it could have been up to 10,000.
Right, but she has one employee.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, absolutely. I believe I don't know. If it were me, well, you know what I would do? I would take the money and forget that I had it and hope that I didn't need it. And 11 months in, I could give it back and it wouldn't cost me a penny.
Yeah, but it's and here's the reason why, Beatrice, I know it sounds like we're just being like obnoxious, just keep pushing this money down everybody's throats. But we actually have a reason. The whole reason is, even though, or the bigger part of the story is that even though right now you might not need the money, are you 100% sure that in 8 months you won't need that money? Because in 8 months, that money might not be available to you. The chances are good that that money won't be available to you. It was provided to you now, you didn't accept it, and that opportunity is not going to come up again. So that's where the little sticking point is. None of us are real confident about how this is all going to play out. I mean, we've been wrong about so many things that we're all trying to just sort of cover our hides, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And that's where that's our push for accepting the money and just not touching it is coming from. Hey, Denise, good to see you. What will be forgiven first? So I think what you mean is the PPP or the EIDL, the $1,000. So what happens there is those two things are not on top of each other. So if you're spending your PPP money, let's just say for easy math, that you had $10,000 in PPP money and you had $1,000 in your EIDL advance, your PPP monies and your EIDL together is not 11,000, it's 10. Is that helpful? So they kind of play together.
Leslie's asking about $100 fee for the EIDL, and it depends. If the loan is under $25,000, as I understand it, there's not supposed to be a fee, but for over $25,000, there's $100 processing fee. But you don't start paying anything until 12 months after you get the money.
If that helps with that. Yes, Karen. Yes, good reminder. Make sure to start using your PPP, or at least figuring it out based on when it landed in your account. And even though that has changed a little bit, and moving forward, it might change. You're either going to use it or you're going to define it. It's a little bit different. Don't forget to pay attention to that and look at that date. Okay, so Lucy is no longer with us. You have a good memory though. Lucy is Molly's predecessor, kind of, but Molly is the new little puppy.
Yeah, Molly's running around here somewhere. Maybe we can get her cameo appearance before we're done. Molly was a black girl early.
Yes, Beatrice, take at least half the money and idle and hide it. Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't need it, you can hide the whole thing. You know, just put it in an account. Don't touch it if you don't need it, and you're uncomfortable with taking it. Just a safety net. It's just a nice little safety net right there.
I mean, it's not unusual for us as business owners to get in a pinch where we're short of cash. We need something to make payroll or whatever. And has anybody ever like used a credit card or something because they were short on cash and maybe didn't pay the balance off and wound up paying interest that was 18, 20 some plus? Yeah, I've been in that spot before too. Mm-hmm. And using debt wisely and not, being extravagant on debt and, debt free. I mean, all of that is really awesome. But if you get to a point where you need to borrow some money from something, 3.5% or 3.75% is a heck of a lot better than credit cards. The big part about borrowing money is the interest. So, 3.75 is just.
And don't forget, it's over a 30-year period also. So, I mean, it's really just such beautiful terms that it really is a beautiful little, what am I thinking of, Tom? The thing underneath the high wire. Safety net.
Safety net, right.
Yeah,
right.
It's a beautiful little safety net there. Really low risk safety net, I guess, is the piece. Amelia, I'm confused. I got my PPP money and I got the advance from the idle. If I use 100% of the PPP money, will the advance for the idle be forgiven? It'll roll in together, Amelia. So you don't get the $1,000 on top of your PPP. It will just be your idle $1,000 will just be considered that it's part of your PPP money. Is that more clear? Hopefully. Audrey, yes, indeed. She agrees with me. Yay. Tom, there was a question up here that I'm not sure I understood. We need your help here. Where is it? It was the one about unemployment. Where'd it go? The $600. Oh, here it is, David. Self-employment. I'm not sure if it says check self-employment, unemployment approved $600. County grant approved $5,000. Do you know what that is?
I guess there's a lot of state and local funds out there for small businesses too. So county grant sounds like it. She was able to score some grant money at a county level, a local level, which is really awesome. And it said grant. Grants are monies you don't have to pay back. So that is free money.
That's like walking outside and just finding however much money it is. Just finding on the ground $5,000. There's Molly. Yeah, is that a flea on her belly, Tom?
Huh?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Look at that cute little belly. Oh, little puppy belly. How do people keep their faces off those soft little puppy bellies? Oh, it's so cute.
She's a sweet dog. She just turned 8 yesterday.
8 weeks.
8 weeks, right. She peed in the floor earlier, but I guess it happens to all of us occasionally, right?
Too much information, Tom. Too much information. Yeah, we're not going to go there. Okay, so let's see. Okay, David, yes, that is another grant, county grant. That's awesome. Here, where I live too, there's quite a few county grants going out for companies that are very small. If your company is bringing in like less than $100,000 a year in revenue, or it might even be 50,000, there might be another one. You can get additional grants, which is awesome. Okay, so Leslie wants to know, what if I got my PPP and advance on the EIDL, but turn down the EIDL in the end? Then again, that's why that grant rolls over into your PPP, Leslie. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. I know, everybody's so adorable. Molly, so cute. Okay, Sarah says, can you touch on what I'm guessing will be the next big issue when the PPP runs out and our sales can't support all our staff? Are we due for more layoffs? The PPP extension won't help since I've spent it the way I thought was best, and it will be up in 2 weeks. How should I handle that? Plus having my head count by June 30th. You know what, Sarah? Smart. That's exactly what we're dealing with right here. Smart business moves, right? So trying to think about it now. How are we going to manage this? We're going to be out of money. We're going to we've brought all these people back to work. We've got full roles, right? How are we going to manage that? Tom, do you have plans for that? What you're doing?
We've got contingencies, but I'm not fretting a whole lot because, well, we've got reason to believe over the next couple of days, or next couple of weeks rather, that we're going to be seeing additional changes. And, you know, Sarah acknowledges that they might extend the window, but we don't know what other changes might be there as well in terms of the rules. All of the guidance that came out about the forgiveness part of the PPP, we have good reason to believe all that's going to change. So what does that mean by the June 30 date? What does that mean by, you know, even how are you calculating your head count and forgiveness? I mean, just so much of that is unknown that for the most part, I think you just got to run your business in the way it's rational based on what you know now. And once your 8-week window runs out, if you've spent all your PPP money and you've got more people on your payroll than what you've got money to pay them, I guess that's kind of where the EIDL money comes in as well, because you can use your EIDL money for payroll. And if it looks like it's at that point, once you're at that point, if the rules are saying you need to be at full employment by June 30, then you would have to say, well, does it make sense for me to use my EIDL money to keep people working for another couple of weeks?
2 weeks. That's exactly what Sarah's asking too.
But you won't know until you get there what even the rules are going to be. Yeah. But hopefully you've got your EIDL monies, and this is, I guess, a really good example of why you would want them, even though you're thinking that you might not need them, because you don't know what you might need until you get there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That bringing that up is perfect for an answer to Beatrice. That's why, one more reason why you might never have thought of that. Now here Sarah is in this position. She might actually need those EIDL funds just to be able to keep her FTE numbers where they need to be. So yeah, that's awesome. Great thinking on that too, Sarah. I got to give you props for that. A lot of people are not thinking ahead and trying to come up with those contingencies and figuring out what's the next move. So good job on that, Sarah.
Based on what we know now, Sarah, I think the answer to your question would be, yeah, use the EIDL funds to keep. I mean, the details are in that big spreadsheet that we shared the other day to be able to answer that for sure. But I wouldn't spend a ton of time crunching all those numbers now, because that spreadsheet's going to look different 2 weeks from now. At least we have good reason to believe that way.
Less than that. Yeah, maybe even in a week, right? Because they said 2 weeks a week ago.
You don't know. You don't know. But
yeah,
again, there were some things that were supposed to happen in 3 days that never happened. So
it's true. It's true. Yep. All right. So Beatrice says, do people get the $1,000 grant first and then the loan eligibility. I got the loan eligibility and no $1,000 advance. How does that work? Thank you. We've heard both ways, right, Tom?
It has happened both ways. I've experienced it that it happens both ways. I know some companies that have gotten what now is the full allotment of idle funds, which is 150,000, even though the SBA doesn't admit it, with zero advance money. So I don't know.
And they are admitting to that 150,000 now, Tom. That's in writing. Yep, they have put that in writing now, that they capped it at 150. But we also heard that they might be reversing that if they get more funds.
And if you get the 150, it's actually, they put the 149.9 in your bank. They take that $100 processing fee out at the time that they disperse the loan.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But if it's under 25, supposedly they don't take that $100 out.
So whoever was asking about that $100, maybe it was Leslie. There you go. Already gone. Already gone, Leslie. Don't even have to worry about it. You've already paid it. Hey, Maria, I see that you're watching on there. Good to see you. I thought I wanted to say something else about idle processing. You know, I really need to be better with my notes here. Somebody had asked me a question earlier. One of these days I will get back. Won't be today. Okay.
Are you guys?
You guys have any?
Let's talk about. Let's take a break for a second. Are you guys closed on Monday?
Us?
Yeah.
We're not closed. And Olympia, we don't close. We are. We work half a day. And so what we do, so this year I did think about just closing and paying everybody, right? Because we have PPP monies. But one of the things, so our people voted on how they were going to manage holidays. They decided what they were going to do. And what they voted on is everybody in the whole company works a half day. Nobody gets approved to have the day off. And then it feels fair to everybody. Because it was this, you know, we started this maybe 6-7 years ago because people used to get so mad. Such and such employee always gets every holiday off because she puts them all in, you know, same time, blah, blah, blah. It's not fair. She doesn't have kids. And just the whole it's not fair thing.
Right.
So they all decided that this was fair. Everybody has to work. Everybody works a half day. And then everybody is off by noon. So this year, what we're doing, because we have PPP monies, so what I did was I didn't want to change that whole fair structure thing. So I sent out a Facebook post saying everybody who works their scheduled day, their regularly scheduled day, will get full pay, get paid for a full day, and they will get, and a lot of those people aren't eligible, well, maybe not a lot, but some of those people aren't eligible for holiday pay at all. So everybody will get a full day's pay, and they'll also get points because we have a point system that we're using. And if you get 40 hours in a week, you can earn up to a $500 bonus. But if you don't get those 40 hours, you can't earn that $500 bonus. So a lot of people were like, I don't want to work half a day because I need my hours so that I can get my bonus, but I don't want to work a full day. It's a holiday. So I was like, okay, everybody gets all the money and all the points. So, you know, I'm the winning boss today. I'm the winning, yesterday, not so much, but today. And
Sarah just made a good point here that any holiday pay that you're paying would be PPP money if you're in your 8-week window.
Yeah, and I am. That's why everybody's getting it. So, but I didn't want them to not work because then we got the problem of having to push jobs. You know, we're going to have to bounce jobs around, move jobs around, and then we're going against what they said was fair.
Right.
So I try never to go against what the employees think is fair, ever. So we did. Yeah, I love that, Sarah. Same as me, right? Closed with one person working 2 solo jobs. It's her first day back from unemployment. That's funny, right? I do have another employee that is wants to work a full day because she wants the opportunity to get overtime pay. Because normally in our company, you're not allowed overtime pay. Do not go over 40 hours or your pay for performance will go down if you go over 40 hours. But right now, if you go over 40 hours, not only do you not lose any pay for performance points, you gain points. So she's like, can I get full pay, full points, and bonus points if I work all day? I'm like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. So we got that going on. We do have people that are like, I want to work more. Give me more hours. I can't go anywhere anyway. I'd rather work. All right, fine. But this is also an odd employee. This was an employee that was offered unemployment or reduced, like a work share program. And she was like, no, I'd rather just not go on unemployment. I don't care about that $600. I just want to keep my job. I don't want to jeopardize my job or have anybody else have a chance of getting my job. So, different kind of employee. I don't think the majority of our employees are like, the majority of my employees aren't like that. The rest of my employees are, woohoo, what can I do to get that $600? That's all I care about. But not her. Wow.
I'll tell a story that was kind of cool and could be an opportunity as well. I was talking to Derek earlier today, and normally we have a cleaning business today business call every morning at 10 o'clock, but we had to shift it to 2 o'clock because he was giving away disinfectant today. He did a program. He went to Facebook and was looking for companies that would partner with him and doing a promotion where he could give away, disinfectant, since you really have a hard time finding it in the grocery store. But as commercial contractors, it's not terribly difficult to do. So there was a hotel that wanted to do this with him. So they did it in the hotel, in the parking lot of a hotel, and the hotel has a PR firm that it worked with. So he got local TV coverage, he got newspaper coverage, a radio station sent somebody else to do a live broadcast with them. Took 3 people to do it. He set up 2 stations, and they were taking the concentrate and diluting it in buddy jugs, and they were like pouring out of 6 buddy jugs at a time. Everybody had to bring your own bottle. I don't know. He gave away a couple 100 gallons of disinfectant in like a 4-hour window.
Did he tell you where he got this idea, Tom?
No.
Yeah, he got it from the Success MMA group. Yeah, that's where that idea came from. One of our members did a very successful campaign way back in the day. At least 3, maybe even 4 weeks ago. And this person's what they did was, those huge big drums that you can rent, like 500 gallons. He rented one of those on a trailer full of water so that he could fill bottles and dilute at the same time. He went through all of that stuff. It was crazy, amazing. So he did that at the same time that he launched the Cleaning for Heroes program. Yeah, we can't talk to him anymore. He's too much of a big wig now. He's too popular.
All these people are celebrities, rock stars. But I guess the point is, there's a window of opportunity, because Heather, joined us yesterday, and I mean, she was on national television, Fox News for Cleaning for Heroes. Giving away disinfectant is another way that you can get. I mean, it's not completely free. You got to buy some chemicals, but it's cheap as advertisement you're ever going to get. And, it's not going to be too much longer until people are going to be able to go back to Walmart and the grocery store and get their disinfectant. So if you want to do this, there's a short window here that you can jump in and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Heather, what are the MMA groups, Liz? Okay. Heather, yes, she wants, okay. So this is, you guys, I'm sorry, this is Heather pushing me to tell you guys about the MMA groups. These are our mastermind accountability groups. There are 3 different levels of groups. We have a starter group, a growth group, and a success group. And they have different engagement levels. If you just want some basic engagement, then you would be in the starter group. If you want like a little bit more engagement and a little bit more accountability, then you'd be in the middle group. If you want a lot of engagement and a lot of accountability, you're going to end up in the success group. But we will talk more about it next week, Heather, if that's okay with you. But that's what the groups are. If anybody's interested in hearing more about them, reach out to Heather, reach out to me. I'll happily tell you more about it off this.
But how pretty busy. You've probably got a few, interviews going on this afternoon. Face the Nation on Sunday. Who knows?
She really is busy because of this. Like we're joking around about it, but it has been crazy busy for her. So I'm really impressed with how she just boom, boom, boom made this stuff happen. It was pretty impressive.
It's on The View next week.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do invite me on with Heather, I want to come on too. Sounds fun. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Any other problems? Any other things that you're trying to do? Shannon, I'll send you some info, Shannon. I'm writing your name down right now. You don't have to worry about connecting me, looking for me. You know what? One of my favorite teachers when I was growing up, every time I see your name, I think this, so I just have to say it. Her name was Mrs. Hazen, and I loved her. I tried to get her every year. I did get her 3 years, but she was a math teacher, and I loved her.
You got her really, for 3 years.
Yeah, she taught 2 different years.
Graduate, got out of that grade, and went on. No.
Oh, shh. Don't be mean now, Tom. Okay, so there was I saw a post come through that, and I thought you might have a little bit of information on, Tom. I'm not sure if it was coming through the Wall Street Journal or it was coming through some news source about some of the southern states were already beginning to see some increases in numbers. Have you seen that come out? Yeah. I was a little bit nervous. I thought maybe you would have a little bit of information.
The number of diagnosed cases is going up in a number of southeastern states, South Carolina being one of them, my home state. Not my home state in which I live. It is my home state. I've been here forever in Will Bay. But the number of tests they're doing have grown at even a higher rate. So statistically, it really isn't as alarming that it would seem to be on the surface, because if you've tripled the amount of tests you're doing and the number of cases is only double, then that doesn't really mean that the virus is spreading more. It just means that you're looking harder for cases that have always been there.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. So Leslie, hopefully that's the same situation with you guys, doing more testing, and that's why your numbers are up. Oh, Audra too, Alabama is having an uptick.
But
so what she's saying, so she's asking, does it kind of balance out then, Tom, or have they determined what's actually going on there?
The real number would be, the number of positive cases you're getting per test. I mean, it's complicated. There's a lot of things that go into it. Earlier on, the only people that were getting tests were the people that had a high likelihood of having it. They were displaying symptoms, and because they didn't have any test, right? So they were only giving it to the people who were believed to be the highest risk. Now that they've got more tests out there, they're testing more people that aren't necessarily displaying symptoms. So if you think statistically that the number of positive cases out of a population where you're not hand-picking the winners, so to speak, would have a smaller percentage. From a lot of what I've read, they believe better indicators are hospital admissions and death rates, because those would have been constant throughout the whole process with or without, tests. And hospital admissions really, in most states, seem to be, leveling off or declining.
Yeah, that
There,
makes perfect.
there's some belief that summer has something to do with it, that we're going to see that happening naturally, just because these types of viruses tend to, just like the flu, tend to die off and become less of an issue in the summer. The big concern is, once we get into the fall and winter, it's still going to be out there simmering, and is it going to kind of flare up again?
Yeah, well, I wonder what that means for us. We don't really have any heat yet. You see me, I've got my jacket on right here. I think we're sitting at like 62 or something. Our hottest day so far this year was 80, and it was like a day and a half long. It was, so much for summer. I think we're moving into a fall now. I don't know. But I don't know how it's gonna
But
work.
like even in Washington State, where the summers aren't really as overbearing as they are in the southern states, the flu typically kind of, the flu isn't as rampant in the summertime, is it?
No, it isn't. It does die off too. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, 97 in California, huh, Leslie? Woo!
Oh,
Okay. That's warm. That's really warm. All right, so this is a little bit off topic, but you brought up the 97-degree temperature, and I got a question for you guys. Is anybody struggling with your people being upset about having to wear the PPE, the booties, the gloves, the
shoe
face
cover.
mask? Yeah, where did I get booties? Who said booties yesterday? Got me going. Heather. Yeah, the shoe covers, the gloves, and the face mask in the heat. I have a little fringe group that is they want tank tops and shorts because it is, and they want heat stroke training to be able to manage how they're going to be able to clean in the 80, 85 degree temperatures with all their full PPE. Is anybody else having this concern? What are you guys doing? How are you handling it?
Heat stroke training.
Yep, that's specifically what was asked for. Heat stroke. So if someone gets heat stroke, what exactly are we supposed to do? And we all need to go through that training, because it's guaranteed it is going to happen if we're in a short sleeve uniform cotton. So it's not it's a cotton material, cotton poly blend, and and shorts, but the PPE is forcing the overheating. So my response was about so I have to balance the safety, right? And there's a lot of different things to look about with safety. On the one hand, I need people to be safe in the homes, safe on the COVID front. And right now, there are not a lot of things that we can do to be safe other than wear our PPE. There are no vaccines. There are no medications. There aren't a lot to do. So we have to wear the PPEs. But our bodies will naturally adjust to the increased temperatures, as is evidenced by people, the soldiers in Afghanistan wearing full flak suits, helmets, the big boots, everything else that they're wearing in temperatures well over 100 degrees. Not to say that none of them have had heat stroke. I'm sure that they have in those temperatures, but absolutely our chances of adjusting to heat is better than our chances of adjusting to COVID. So that's what we're dealing with right now. But I'm not sure. I was wondering what other people are doing. Shannon says, I had my reusable shoe covers on yesterday and my client loved them. She's going to buy them for her house. That's awesome. And Linda, I'm emailing the clients asking for more AC on the day of service. I bought cooling rags for the staff. Yeah, we don't have AC up here in Washington because we don't typically get, of course, it exists, but it's not common here in Washington. It's very uncommon to have air conditioning. No tank tops, but great t-shirts. Shorts are fine, but they need to be long. Right? So similar to what we're doing. Beatrice, I'm curious, do your clients actually request for EPA approved disinfectant? Are you doing it no matter what? My clients really don't care whatsoever. I clean everything as usual and make sure high touch points are clean too. So there was a bigger push for me. I'm talking about me, and we'll let Tom say too about his. Bigger push for the EPA approved disinfectant earlier on. We're not hearing a lot about it right now. I actually asked my web guy to pull it off my website that we're doing the free 51 point blah 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 thing. So we're not getting as much now, but we're still using it. We have always used that disinfectant, so not a lot changed for us. We're just educating the customer that, hey, look what we're doing. It's amazing. It's free. Well, it was free to us because we'd always done it, right? But we were just using it in that way, but we're going to pull it down now. How about you, Tom? Are you guys getting a lot of conversation?
Not a lot of discussion about it. I mean, we're offering it, and prior to COVID, we didn't use a disinfectant. Quite honestly, for maintenance cleaning in a house, a high quality microfiber towel and using it properly with just any general purpose cleaner, you're going to get the same efficacy. It's more of a peace of mind thing than it is a real making it safer thing. But psychology matters, and if your clients feel better, and I could understand why they would, knowing that you're using a disinfectant, that's a rational thing to do. And if you're going to use a disinfectant, certainly you want to use something that is registered by the EPA. I mean, technically, if it's not, it probably legally couldn't even be called a disinfectant. But a disinfectant that's on the list of approved disinfectants to mitigate the SARS-CoV-2 virus, the one that causes COVID-19, is what you would want to use.
Let's see. And Starlene, looks like you're having a little bit of trouble too. Yeah, AC. Yeah. Wish we had AC. I think that would reduce a lot of our issues.
I get the point. I mean, deeply appreciate that it can get hot and it's hard work in the summertime, and especially some units are hotter than others, and wearing a mask is a whole nother degree of complication, and I really don't know what that's going to look like when it really gets hot. I mean, we haven't said it today, this is unprecedented.
Yeah, good job, Tom. Yeah.
So what is it going to look like, and how hard is that going to be? But we've been doing this whole house cleaning thing for a while, and almost every example of, have you ever had an instance where blah 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 happens? Like, oh yeah, well that's happened a couple of times here. What scabies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well I remember back in 1998 that, but I don't want the bar. I mean, heat stroke is a really serious thing, and I don't believe that we've ever come close to having a diagnosed case of that. Have you?
No, never. We never have.
And not to take it lightly, not to say that it's not something we'd want to be mindful of, make sure that we're taking all the necessary precautions, but I'm not sure if how, well, I'm not sure what the odds of us even being, I don't know, has anybody ever had somebody have a clinically diagnosed case of heat stroke? I mean, that requires 911 and EMS, and I mean, you can get bad outcomes with that.
Yeah, somebody has had that. I would love to know. Oh, check that out. Sorry, you guys, I have to change topics real quick. Martha, hi, Liz and Tom. I'm glad you listened to us, Martha. I just now applied for the EIDL. It's now open. It's open again. It was only agriculture. I'm guessing that's what you're saying. It's now open. Hope anyone that didn't get to apply, they can apply now and hopefully get the loan. Oh, Tom's on it. You see when he looks that way? That means he's on it. He's looking to see if we can find it. That's great information, Martha. Thank you. We have a lot of people that needed to get that EIDL loan and waited just a little bit too long and kind of got pushed out. So hopefully, Rita, PPP question. If you won't use the full 25% of the PPP funds, but can use more than 75% on payroll, yes, absolutely. Anyone know how much of that payroll over the 75% may be forgiven, or is the limit 75? No, you can use all of it. You can use 100% of that on payroll, on paychecks, and get 100% of it forgiven, Rita. But you can also use as little as 75% and then 25% on your operating cost, and that's another way of getting 100%. So yeah, absolutely, you can use the whole thing. And I think that they would probably prefer that, right? Because the point of the PPP is to protect those paychecks. Ekaterina, thank you again, Liz and Tom, for your everyday work. Here I have a question. We know, and now everyone knows, so-called quat disinfectants take about 10 minutes to disinfect. What about rubbing alcohol, 70%? What's dwell time? What's dwell time for rubbing alcohol, Tom? Do you know? I don't. That's such a good question. I don't have a clue, Ekaterina. I can't wait.
Yeah, I would just be guessing. I can consult with Janice, who's the resident expert on all things related to the chemistry of cleaning, and we can get you an answer for that on Monday. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds great. I will. I'm marking it down right now, Ekaterina, and we'll have an answer on Monday. That's such a great question. Isn't that funny that we've never even thought to look that up or hear about anything?
My belief is it's a shorter time, but it's a complicated answer because it depends what pathogens you're trying to kill too, because not every disinfectant kills the same pathogens. But we'll get you, that's a good question. It deserves a good answer. So we'll come back Monday and we'll have that for you.
Yeah, and if he's going to consult with Janice, we're going to have a really good answer, you guys. Really, really good. What'd you pull up, Tom? Is this the information about the...
According to the SBA website, they're still only doing this for, come on, behave, for agriculture.
You're welcome, Rita. Well, I mean, if Martha was able to push one through, maybe I don't know. Martha, give us a little bit more information. That sounds awesome.
You know what? You can click on the link and go through the steps, and who knows?
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time we found a glitch, y'all. Right? Check it out. Anybody that has it.
Yeah, as long as you're answering the questions as you know, clearly and as honestly as you can, I don't think you have absolutely anything to lose.
Yeah. That sounds great to me. And congratulations, Martha.
And they might even if they aren't looking at the applications for house cleaning businesses at the moment, it very well might be in queue. Whereas if more money has become available here over the next couple of weeks, you're already in line.
Ready to go.
It appears that they will let you fill this out regardless of what, you know, of whatever your circumstance is.
Yeah.
They're not saying you're not a farmer. No, you can't do this. That's not the feel I'm getting.
Is there any question on there? Did you look? Is there any question where you have to choose where it says that you are an agricultural business?
Yeah, it asks the question, applicant's agricultural enterprise, not more than 500. But it also asks, is a business with not more than 500. So this would be what we would check. But
it says only choose one.
Yeah, and I can go down here and say,
oh, you got to check all of them. So.
Yeah, I'm not a terrorist. I'm not cooking meth in the bathtub. I'm not.
I'm so excited to hear these answers since we're business partners. It's making
Yeah.
me feel so good about working with
you. Finally, you got the answers you were looking for. But it didn't, if I was disqualified because I wasn't in agriculture, it would seem like it would say, sorry, we're not,
Yeah.
they might not be processing them, but that doesn't mean, let's go back and read this again. At this time, only agricultural business applications will be accepted. But I just told them I'm not an agricultural business, and it looks like that they're letting me go through the application process.
Wherever she went, it didn't ask if she was agricultural or not. Did you go to the SBA website, Martha? Is that where you went to get your application, or give us a little bit more detail? I'd love to hear about that. Oh, we don't have very much time though. Tom, can you, while she's going to give us this information, do you mind pulling up information, show everybody the links, Clean Business Today?
Sure. Here we go. Cleaning Business Today. You guys know where we are. Subscribe here. If you haven't subscribed, just your email, first name, last name. We're actually picking our game up in Cleaning Business Today. I'm kind of excited about some of the things we've been able to do. A lot of summer interns don't have summer interns, and we've got some really talented help here this summer. We're doing a lot of stuff, so you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff coming out of Cleaning Business Today over the next few months. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And coronavirus downloads, I'll drop this in the whole linky thing here down at the bottom. This has all of the information, downloads, articles that we've shared. The super duper spreadsheet, which is probably going to change again over the next couple of weeks, and how to calculate your loan forgiveness is there. The actual PPP application, which is probably going to change too, is there for download. If we find out anything more about how to apply for the EIDL loan in a way that looks like it would be strategically helpful, we'll go ahead and we'll share that. I said Monday, Tuesday. We're not here Monday, right?
We're not here Monday. Nope, right.
I was testing you, Liz. I was going to see if you caught that. Tuesday, we'll try to find, share any of that information, and we'll have some information about the do's and don'ts using alcohol as a disinfectant as well.
Real quick, a couple of people have hit me up offline. Yes, my mom is out of the hospital, and she has been for 3 days and looking good. Thank you, everybody, for asking about that. It's kind of you. She's fine. Tom, can you also go to Modern Cleaning and share? We had a couple of questions. Linda wants to know, is session 3 out yet?
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
Session 3 went out yesterday afternoon. Should have gotten an email, and if you've signed up for the class, you should have gotten an email on that. And
if you haven't signed up, waiting for session 3 for class number 3 to come out. Okay, time to sign up. Class 3 is out. Yeah. Also, Linda, I have you on my list of people that would like more information about the MMA groups. Amelia, I've got you down too. So I'll reach out to all 3 of you guys, Shannon, Linda, and Amelia. And anything else here, Tom?
Well, we're not today. I guess we've had some people kind of hitting us up wanting to see a little bit about what the classes are like in PHC. And if next week, if anybody wants to, we could probably show some previews of some of that if we want. Could
we do it Tuesday? Tuesday would be awesome if we could do that. Start the week out early.
Because we're closed on Monday.
That's why I said Tuesday.
We can do it on Tuesday.
All right. So if you guys want to see some trailers, join us on Tuesday, and we'll see. Which I would really love it if we could show a little bit of health. I think that program or that class is going to be really awesome for people to be able to see. Oh, Linda did not receive an email about session 3 coming out, Tom. Linda Cavazos. I probably am pronouncing that wrong, Linda. I apologize. But yeah, she didn't receive an email.
We're moving everything over to a new platform that's going to make this so much easier. I mean, what's really happening here is this has become so much bigger than what we really, planned on. So
more people.
Yeah, we didn't have all the tools in place to handle the volume that we have. So we're moving over and keeping all of this straight through this transition in terms of keeping everybody's enrollment straight and the students assigned to the right companies and making sure everybody's getting the right communication. My poor daughter Kate is losing her mind right now, and it's going to be a bit choppy here over the next couple of weeks as we're making our way through that. But I promise you, once we make it through that valley to the other side and we're on the platform that is big enough to handle the administrative side of all of this, it's going to be an awesome thing.
Oh, Shannon didn't get the email either, Tom.
Okay.
That's good info. Thank you, guys.
That seems to be a trend. So you should be getting an email for every time we go up the new class, because we'll have more classes coming out next week. So
and so it's not going to last long, but we got like 2 more weeks of classes coming out, something like that. So hopefully you'll be able to see those real quick. All right, I know that we are running out of time. No, we're out of time.
We have run out of time.
An hour. Well, we got an hour and 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we said up to an hour and 2 minutes. So we got 20 seconds.
15 seconds now.
Okay, you guys, tomorrow, don't forget, 3-day weekend. Everybody get some rest, enjoy the weather, get outside, and have a great holiday. Think about us when we think about you.
Yeah, be safe. We'll see you Tuesday, 5 o'clock Eastern. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.